Hosea is the first book of the 12 minor prophets in the Old Testament of the Bible. It is the 28th book in the Old Testament. In the Hebrew Bible, it is also the first book of the collection known as the 12 or the Minor Prophets. Hosea's prophecies primarily focus on God's enduring love for Israel despite the nation's persistent unfaithfulness and idolatry. He uses the symbolism of his marriage to Gomer, a prostitute, to illustrate God's relationship with Israel. Hosea prophesies both judgment and restoration, highlighting God's desire to heal and redeem his people. Hosea prophesied around 2,700 years ago, during the reigns of the last two kings of the northern kingdom of Israel, also known as Ephraim, shortly before it was conquered and destroyed by the Assyrian Empire. His prophecies speak of punishment for turning away from God, and of restoration for turning back to Him. The core message of Hosea centers on God's unending love for a sinful and wayward Israel. Israel's unfaithfulness wasn't just about idol worship, it also involved political alliances with pagan nations like Assyria and Egypt, often accompanied by adopting their gods. Hosea lived in the northern kingdom and was likely active in the period leading up to its destruction. Even a brief reading of Hosea's prophecy reveals the overwhelming grief he feels due to Israel's unfaithfulness to the Lord. The name Hosea is derived from the Hebrew word yasha, meaning to save, or one who delivers. He was the son of Beri, whose name means the deep wells of Jehovah. Hosea's marriage to Gomer, who is unfaithful, serves as a powerful metaphor for God's relationship with Israel, who repeatedly turns away from him to worship other gods. First, Hosea is directed by God to marry a promiscuous woman, and he obeys. This marriage symbolizes the covenantal relationship between God and Israel. However, Israel has been unfaithful by worshipping other gods and breaking the commandments, terms of the covenant, thus Israel is represented as a harlot violating her marriage vows. Second, Hosea and Gomer have a son. God commands that he be named Jezreel, referencing the valley where much blood was shed in Israel's history, especially by kings of the northern kingdom. The name Jezreel, God's house, serves as a prophecy of judgment against the ruling house of Israel. Third, the couple has a daughter. God instructs that she be named Lo Ruhamah, meaning not loved or no mercy, to signify that, while God will still show compassion to the southern kingdom, he will no longer have mercy on the northern kingdom, its destruction is near. In the NIV translation, the omission of the word him leads to speculation about whether Lo Ruhamah was Hosea's daughter or the child of one of Gomer's lovers. However, scholar James Mays notes that the lack of explicit paternity is hardly an implication of adultery. Fourth, another son is born to Gomer. It is uncertain whether this child is Hosea's, for God commands that he be named Lo-Ami, meaning not my people. The child bears this name of rejection to reflect that the northern kingdom is no longer recognized as God's people, symbolizing their complete alienation from God. The book of Hosea has a complex history of formation and transmission. Much of its content likely originated with Hosea himself in oral form. Hosea prophesied during the reigns of 5 kings, for from Judah, Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, and one from Israel, Jeroboam II, as noted in Hosea 1 verse 1. He was an 8th century BC prophet and a contemporary of Isaiah, Amos, Micah, and possibly Jonah. The decline of the Assyrian Empire during this period allowed Jeroboam II to significantly expand the territory of the northern kingdom. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe to my channel.